Welcome to another edition of Eric's Product Reviews. I, of course, am Eric, and today I'm going to be talking to you about this 36-inch bladeless tower fan by a company called Lensoul. This is completely bladeless. Got the screw here, no fingers are getting inside there. It has a very small footprint, doesn't take up a lot of space, but has a lot of power. This fan features 3 speeds. It is oscillating and has a very wide oscillating area to move the air throughout the whole room. It has a nice display here that shows you what setting it is on. It has touch controls on the top. It comes with a remote control so that you can control it from across the room without any issues as well. Just a really great fan. Now, before I talk more about the features and my thoughts in using it, you probably want to see it in action and hear it in action and just see some of the features it has. So let's jump over to some demo footage so you can see this thing doing what it does best. So you have 5 buttons on the top of the Lensoul, and these correspond exactly to the 5 buttons that are on the remote control. So you can control it either with a remote from up to 16 feet away, or just using the buttons that are on the top here. And what these buttons are, this is the power button, obviously, main power button. This is your fan speed. You have 3 speeds. This is your timer. You can set a timer. It has 7 timer options from 1 hour to 7 hours. This is your fan mode. You have natural, you have normal, and you have sleep. And then this is to turn the oscillation off or on. And again, it's a 70-degree oscillation, so very wide area. But that's what these 5 buttons stand for and what each of them does. You do have a display here to let you know what's going on. So I'm going to turn the power on, and you'll see you have the indicator of the mode as well as the indicator of the fan speed. You can see that's the highest speed, that's the lowest speed. You also, if you hit the timer, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then you also have the different modes. So we went from normal mode to natural, and then this is sleep mode. And then you also have the oscillating. Oscillating doesn't actually have a indicator on the display, because if it's oscillating, you can see that it's oscillating, so you wouldn't need an indicator. But that's the display. Very clearly shows what you need. Okay, so you probably want to know what the fan sounds like. It's a very quiet operating fan. It is a bladeless fan. But right now I'm recording just using the mic that's built into the camera. The camera is about 6 feet away from the fan itself. And right now it is in the standard normal mode. With the normal mode, the fan just blows consistently. I'm going to turn the oscillation on using that, and you'll hear that little beep. I wish you could turn those beeps off, but the main thing is just know, if you have a partner, you don't want to wake up in the middle of the night and change this fan, because that beep will probably wake them up. But other than that, these lights are not very bright. I don't think those will be an issue at all. Easy to see, but they don't put off a lot of light. But you can hear. It's very quiet. In relation to my voice, me and the fan are at the same distance from the mic, so it's picking up my voice. I'm talking in a pretty normal level, and you can hear or not hear the fan. So I'm going to pause the oscillation, and I'm going to take it to the medium level. It's just, for me, sitting right next to it, it's just like a very low wind. I hear the wind, because there's wind being produced, but the fan itself, fairly quiet. And now I'm going to take it to the 3rd level. So of course you've got a lot more air, quite a bit of air blowing out of this with that. So the wind sound, there's more wind sound. But the fan itself, it is tiny little bit of tiny sound that I can hear sitting right next to it a little bit, but you probably can't even hear it all. Now I'm going to turn on the oscillation. So you can hear just a little bit sound coming from the actual fan mechanism. Mostly I just hear the wind. And I can certainly feel it. You can see that 70-degree oscillation. Now, just real quick, I want to talk about the different modes, because this fan does have modes, which I just see as a bonus. Even if it didn't have those, if you just use the fan in normal mode, that's how most fans work. But this one has different modes. Now, what those modes do, I'm going to turn this on the middle level, is they change the pattern. In normal mode, it's just consistently blowing, just like the fans you're used to. When you change the modes, then it shifts. So this is normal mode, little happy smiley face. This is natural mode. You see has a little wind icon. And in that mode, it's mimicking wind outside. When you're outside, the wind doesn't blow one consistent speed. It varies. It blows a little harder, then a little softer, then maybe it doesn't blow at all for a second. And that's what this does in that mode. So now it just kicked up a little bit. Now it just went down. Now it's barely blowing at all. Now it's blowing back a little bit. So within the fan speed you set, that sets sort of the parameter, and then it changes within that, which is pretty cool. Now the next mode, it's very similar. This is sleep mode, and or night mode, but sleep mode really. And that mode is meant to, it does sort of the same thing, but I guess it's meant to, when you're sleeping, having the wind sort of change a little bit is maybe helps you sleep. And so it does that same kind of thing. But instead of trying to mimic wind in nature, it's more of a set program control thing. So for some of you, that might be something you would want, and it has that option. You can try it out and see. But you always have just normal mode, which is just like any other fan. So you can see, this is an excellent oscillating, bladeless tower fan. Works well, fully controllable with remote control, as well as the touch buttons on the top. It does have those 3 fan speeds. It has 3 different modes besides the regular mode, which is just wind blowing consistently. It's got that wind mode, which is kind of cool because, you know, when you're outside, part of what makes you feel cool is when the breeze like picks up then slows down, then picks up then slows down, and this has a mode that does that, which is kind of cool, as well as the night mode, which is kind of similar, which varies the wind a little bit to help keep you cool in the evening. So really full-featured fan. It does have a nice long power cord. It's about a 6-foot long power cord, so you can plug this in and get this to where you need it to be. It also comes with the handle on the back to make it really easy to pick up and carry it around and move it from room to room or move it to a different position within the room. It's got that really super wide oscillating area so that it really can cover a whole room really, really well. Just very, very nice, small, doesn't take up a lot of space, fairly quiet, really excellent fan. Now, if there are any things that I wanted to nitpick about the features, well, first let me tell you this good thing. The display, as you saw, the display lights up to show you what's on there. That does turn off automatically after about a minute or two. So you don't have to worry about the display lights at night. The display turns off after you're not changing the settings anymore. So that's not an issue. 2 little nitpicky things would be that neither the touch buttons on the top nor the buttons on the remote control are backlit. So if you were to wake up in the middle of the night and want to change settings, you'd probably have to turn on a light in order to see the buttons in order to change them, because they are not backlit. The only other thing, and you probably heard this in the demo, is when you change a setting, it does make a really loud beeping noise. I wish you could turn that off, but you can't. That's just built in. Now, most of the time, that's not going to be an issue. During the day, it's not an issue, but it could be an issue if, say, you and your spouse are asleep and you have the fan on high and then you wake up in the middle of the night, it's a little chilly, you want to turn it on low or you want to turn it off, and your spouse is asleep, and if you hit that button and it makes that loud beeping noise, that could wake somebody up. So I don't love that it has that loud beeping noise. It really hasn't been an issue for me, because usually when we turn the fan on for the evening, it's going to be at the same speed all night. But that's just something to be aware of. Other than that, though, I would say this fan is just perfect. It works really, really well. It really moves the wind and the air through the room. The oscillating is great because it just really covers a wide area. And I love that I can control it with the remote control without having to get up and go over to the fan. but I like that it also has controls on the fan, easy to control if you need to. Anyway, again, it is the 36-inch oscillating bladeless tower fan by Lensoul, and just definitely a great product and one that I would recommend. Anyway, that's going to be it for this review. If you like this review, please click that like button. If you know anyone who might be interested in this product, share this video with them. All those ways are down there. If you have any questions, anything I didn't cover, post it in the comments below. I'll do my best to get back to you as quickly as I can. Don't forget to favorite this playlist to keep up with future product reviews, or go ahead and subscribe to my channel and keep up with all my videos. Anyway, that's going to be it until next time. So be safe and be happy.